Managing Madrid blog. Wonderful lads that do a great job there. And worth reading about that man there. Karim Benzema needs to rest, and the numbers reveal why.
Times ended up almost looking like a 6-3-1. Some very good writing about that on the Managing Madrid website. First rate podcast as well. Of course, Fede Valverde was a huge part of the equation.
All right, awesome. We are live on YouTube. This is everyone watching on YouTube sees my nostril right now. All right, cool. Welcome, guys. Managing Madrid podcast. We haven't recorded in probably like a week. A lot of people were like, guys, where's the podcast? Where's the podcast? All good? Oh, okay. We are live in Chicago. So those of you at home listening, confused about all the noise, those were just a room full of amazing Madridistas who are with us right now. Sid Harthram Sundar is here. This is the second time you and I are recording a podcast in person together.
Yep.
The first time was in LA. That was the first time I met you.
In 2021, October, during that incredible season.
Was it?
Yeah, 2021, October. Ryan O'Hanlon was there.
Ryan O'Hanlon. To give you some context, so basically what happened was during the pandemic, I mean, we all sat through that, right? We lost our minds. It was a tough time. And I remember once it was over, it wasn't over for like 4 years, but I was like, man, I can no longer sit at home. So I put out this huge Managing Madrid podcast world tour. Come on in. What's up? Come on in. Take your seat. And I was like, we have to go to a bunch of cities, meet a bunch of people, and get out of our house. So LA was one of the first places we went to, and Sid was there. That's the first time I met him. And to give you the context of where we were in Real Madrid era at that point, it was when Carlo Ancelotti had just come back, right? And we were like, are we going to play a different style of football? Are we going to play high pressing? And I don't know if you guys remember at the time, because football moves fast, right? That was the beginning of that season. Gareth Bale was starting. Eden Hazard was starting. Those were two starters. And I mean, they didn't start for very long, but they were starting until that point. And we were pressing, and our press was terrible. Like, it was so bad, so disjointed. We were like, are we going to figure this out? Are we going to stick with this? And Sid just like put the hammer down. He's like, I predict we're going to abandon this silly exercise. And we were like, whoa, that's a bold prediction. I think literally like a week later, Ancelotti just stopped pressing. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I do. I didn't remember that it was just a week. I do remember him stopping pressing.
I may be exaggerating, but
he's never been a pressing coach. Like he's always been more of a guy who kind of just lets the players figure it out defensively. Defense may not be his big strength. And so the fact that he was even trying to press when like at that time kind of upset me. And I was really just disappointed in Ancelotti, and I just knew it was going to end soon. It's Real Madrid too. We're not like we don't press. Like, we just win with vibes.
So I'm really honored to be with you guys tonight. We want to get as many of you as possible on the stage here with Sid and I, and we're going to go about a couple hours here. We got the room till 9. I don't think anyone's going to kick us out, but anyways, that's the time frame we're working with. We got a lot to discuss. Things move so fast in the Real Madrid universe, as you guys know. What seemed like 2 years ago now, we won our 15th Champions League title. What seems like 1 year ago now, we signed Mbappe. And then we had Mbappe sell out the Bernabeu and there was this incredible show. That was like, I don't know, feels like 6 months ago. Endrick also had his big presentation a few days ago, and now the team is here in Chicago. Has anyone? So it's funny. I met you in the lobby. You actually just saw Luka Modric on your way here, right?
Luka Modric. So it was funny actually because Luka Modric had the hat on and also the sunglasses, but Lucas Vazquez, and then everyone I saw a guy take a photo with Lucas Vazquez. I was like, oh, hey, Luka, what's up? So I took a photo with him. And then Luka Modric was standing right next to him with a hat on and sunglasses. And I didn't recognize him. And then someone ran after him. I was like, whoa, that's Modric. So then I go to him. I was like, hey, I have a Croatian colleague. I need to take a photo with you. He's like, okay, come on. So, yeah.
This was just on the street, right?
Right, in Michigan.
Wow.
How close is that? That's pretty close.
Yeah,
Right.
Wow.
Did you tell him about the podcast? He probably knows. He's like, we can't show our face there.
Hey, Luka Modric. So if you guys didn't hear, Luka Modric and Lucas Vasquez were just spotted by one of our podcasts, like one of the people who just walked in, and he took a picture with them.
6 degrees of separation. Like we lived it through you vicariously.
Well, they're in town for 2 more days. We're gonna see them tomorrow, anyways. So,
Alex, did you guys see any of the players at the hotel? Did you stop by the hotel or no?
I wasn't at the hotel, but the people who went there, I saw Ancelotti.
You saw Carlo Ancelotti at the hotel?
At the hotel. I have a proof.
So,
Yeah,
but you said your friends met Endrick?
Yeah, most of our guys were there.
Yeah.
Like one of our guys had a signature on his jersey from Hendrick, and the rest of them just said hi. Roberto Carlos was there. With them.
Yeah.
They said hi to Hendrick. Most of them haven't recorded right next. There, but it's.
Yeah.
I wanted to go, but I couldn't. I had to take care of my daughter. Today.
Priorities, bro. Priorities.
well,
It was a good. It was like visible. The training, I never know. Literally the small fans, and people could literally watch the entire training.
Right. Yeah.
From the street. I think it was like on purpose, so people can gather and watch. But yeah, some of them, Andrew came out and talked, like, handshake a bunch of people basically.
Yeah.
Of the Pena.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, it's really cool.
On them, man. They're like because we didn't know where they're gonna be.
Yeah.
We had no clue, but
Yeah.
we have some people, some investigators in the Pena.
Yeah. Well, if you guys missed out, they're training at I think 5:30 tomorrow.
They're having another training.
oh, they are training at 5:30.
I think this one's at Soldier Field, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. I'll check my emails after the podcast though. For sure, Chicago time, because they want to have it like basically 24 hours before the game time, so that they get calibrated on the game schedule. Yeah, but the CDT thing threw me off this morning. I was like, oh, sweet, 5:30. I'm gonna check into the hotel, and I was like, oh, 5:30 Madrid time. They don't update it on the website. They just Anyways, so we're gonna talk about basically anything you guys want to talk about. We're gonna let you guys dictate it. Sid and I did want to kickstart the conversation about what is a hot talking point right now, which is the center back issue. I think I'm actually not entirely sure what your thoughts on it, because I haven't talked to you in a while, and I've been away, and we've been a bit of a Managing Madrid podcast hiatus. I know that Matt Wiltsey feels pretty strongly a certain way, and I'm like almost there with him. I'm not quite there with him, but I'm also not on the other end of the spectrum. So for context, our writer Matt really feels like, hey guys, just calm down. We're fine. I know it sucks we lost on the Euro. I know it sucks we lost Nacho, but Real Madrid has a very strict, clear, and direct vision with the way they want to build this squad. They strategically scout the players they want, and if they don't get that player, or that player doesn't want to come to Real Madrid for whatever reason, they're not going to force a last-minute signing just because. Their plan B will believe in the squad until we get our guy. And of course, this was, rewind the tape, 12 months prior to today. This was the same exact conversation we had, but about center forwards. We lost Benzema. Everyone wanted Harry Kane, myself included. I'm happy to say I was wrong about that. And it's very interesting to see, like, I went through this loop of questions, Sid. What if we had actually signed Harry Kane? What would have happened? Maybe we win La Liga by a bigger margin. Maybe we win the Champions League easier. Maybe the Harry Kane trophy curse is a real thing, which I actually think it is. I don't believe in too many conspiracies and voodoo stuff, but the Harry Kane, that dude, is something going on there. I don't know what's going on. Also, the dominoes of, would you have gotten Mbappe now if you had gotten Harry Kane last summer? Would you have gotten one of the greatest debut seasons in Real Madrid history with Jude Bellingham if we had Harry Kane? These are all the questions that I thought of. So in the moment, I was like, Harry Kane would take us to another level. Now, fast forward 12 months later, we have another Champions League title. We have a La Liga title. We got Mbappe now. Everything worked out. And I would argue that the Mbappe thing, now he joins us. We had more leverage in the situation. Like, okay, we can win with or without you. You're either in or out. It's up to you. We're winning without you. So we had more leverage in this situation now too. So now, fast forward 12 months. Now we have this thing with the center backs. What were you feeling when we lost Lenny Yoro?
Yeah, I mean, so that's where I wanted to start too. The loss of Lenny Yoro. So when I was at the last live show in Mumbai, I told everyone he was a done deal. And I feel dumb. And the truth is, like, you know, he was telling everyone the truth is, like, what it took to get him, it wasn't the same as what PSG did to keep Mbappe, or like, but you know, they did do a lot of weird stuff to get Lenny Yoro and pry him away from us. Hi, come on in. So Lenny Yoro is obviously a very talented young player. I wanted him. We wanted him, and we just didn't want to pay more than 25 to 30 million. For what it's worth, at the last show, I said the same thing. I said that the main holdup with Yoro and Davies is that they're both great players, but not so great that we're gonna spend even 40 million on them. Honestly, I wouldn't spend even 40. I wouldn't go 35, 30 million.
What was the figure that he eventually went for?
These are he went for 62.
There's some bonuses.
Okay, I thought, okay, yeah, so 62 or plus bonuses or something to 70, 58, $70 million. All right, yeah. So yeah, 62 million pounds or euros or whatever. So that is like triple what we wanted to pay, and it also, I believe they paid his family money. I don't know if it was under the table or not. I don't know what was going on, but his family, once they found out they'd get the money, started telling him, or his agent, also I think his agent got some more money too. We don't pay Mendes big fees. Mendes likes to extort clubs and like give them players, control their deals. You know, he was the one who masterminded the legendary Joao Felix loan to Barcelona. That went so well. So, and Cancelo, but hey, Cancelo was at least like, he wasn't like Felix. Felix was just horrible. And, you know, there were even rumors it was going to repeat itself this season, but I think someone at Barcelona realized that would be bad politically. That was the main reason it didn't go through. So Mendes is evil. Like, yeah, basically is what I'm saying.
Long-winded way of saying.
So yeah, Mendes is that kind of guy. We don't deal with him. Is it worth not getting Lenny Yoro? The thing is, Lenny Yoro, the first thing I think about when we don't get him is it's a center back. So I'm not worried. Like almost any other position, maybe I'd be a little more worried. Because right backs, pretty rare, great right backs. Left backs, I guess they come around, not too many. Midfielders, we get them. Jude, we didn't lose out on any of them. We lost out on one of those guys, it would have been bad. And so Mbappe, we never lost out on him. Every time we didn't get him, I wasn't worried because ultimately he's still ours. We always knew it. He was just like prolonging his loan spell. And basically, Yoro, as great a center back as he is, in 2019, didn't we lose out? Like, didn't we want Delight and we didn't get him? And then we got Militao instead, or something along those lines.
I don't think we ever actually pursued De Ligt.
Oh, we never pursued
Yeah.
De Ligt. Oh, so we never pursued him, I guess.
Even that was not real. From the peak,
ultimately, like Yoro's gonna be a good player. And the other thing is, like, I was excited for Lenny Yoro at Real Madrid. I don't know how excited I am for Lenny Yoro at Manchester United.
He got injured, bro.
He got injured already. Oh man,
the first game he got injured.
Oh, the Eric Ten Hag coaching is working so well already.
Wait, you don't know he really got injured, badly injured.
Oh, I don't pay attention to. I really don't look at Man U preseason, but that's insane.
He got injured pretty bad.
So Lenny Yoro was injured the first game, and Ten Hag, yeah, like we've seen for 2 years, everyone who plays under him gets injured a lot. Just horrible fitness record, horrible coaching record, pretty much in every single facet. Horrible like recruitment record too, with everyone is requested. So not the best decision at all by Lenny Yoro. And I feel bad for the guy. Like, I just feel bad for him. I don't really care about Real Madrid right now. Like, we're going to be good. But Lenny Yoro, man, like, just take a moment to pity a bright young man with a future ahead of him.
So, I mean, look, the Madridista perspective is like, I think everyone in this room would play for Real Madrid for free. So, like, it's hard for us to fathom, like, what you took more money to go there. Why? Like, you could have been part of something special, right?
Oh, they're paying a triple, right? Or like double, at least double, if not triple.
Yeah.
But
what do you think Diego's gonna say about the opinion of Ten Hag? Yes, he wanted him in Barca so badly. He's just trashing them.
Well, Diego right now is drinking the Hansi Flick Kool-Aid. So but the thing is, so where I was going to go with earlier when I was talking about Matt, the reason I'm not fully there with Matt on like this, everything will be okay kind of thing. I do think that our success last year without Benzema in some way, I think, skewed our perception of what we can and can't get away with. I think this squad this year is so damn good and the firepower is so much that I think irrespective of what our defensive line looks like throughout the season, whether it's Tchouaméni and Rodrigo for a phase or whatever, we're so stacked that it might not matter. But I think if you reflect on what happened last season, it was somewhat improbable the way it happened. We lost Benzema, right? Vinicius got injured for like 2 months. Twice this happened. Like he missed a lot of time. During that time when Vinicius was injured and Benzema was gone, Rodrigo was not scoring either. And now all of a sudden, I don't care how much you believed in Jude Bellingham. The club didn't even know he was going to be that good. Yeah. So Bellingham literally turned into Cristiano Ronaldo for the first 5 months of the season, right? And so that was huge. So look, I'm not belittling what our season, what we achieved last season was amazing. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that when you look at the numbers, Nacho played 1,700 minutes last season, more than that. I think it's a little bit naive to think like you don't need a Nacho type person in the squad. Our friends at The Athletic, I was checking before a podcast that they reported that Vallejo he's done. Like he's not going to join the team at all. Whether you counted on him or not, I don't know. But so like he was like the fourth choice guy. So right now we're down to these are the options, right? David Alaba, who may not be back until January. When he comes back, he may not actually be back. Like remember when Militao came back at the end of the season, he really wasn't Militao, and now he's looking better in Copa America. Now he's hopefully back as the best version of himself. So Alaba not till January. Militao, hopefully he's back to his best. Rudiger, fucking awesome. We love him. Aurelian Tchouaméni.
He's gonna slot in Tchouaméni, bro. You'll see.
I
praying for that.
Well, the thing is, like, a lot of people were like, well, we should have held onto Rafa Marin. And I'm like, you're not wrong. But I'm willing to bet you that Ancelotti would just trust Tchouaméni over whoever that fourth choice center back would be anyway.
Hey, that's Joao Martinez kid. That 16-year-old. Apparently really good. I don't know. He's gonna play on the game in 2 days.
He'll be in the squad, yeah.
Yeah, so I've heard good stuff about
16-year-old Joao Martinez, that would be he'd be better than Kubarsi.
Tchouaméni is gonna play. You'll see. He wants to play Tchouaméni so Camavinga can play in the first team.
Well, this is the interesting talking point I think which we lead to, because the last starting role comes down to Camavinga and Rodrigo. If Tchouaméni plays center back, the problem solves itself. But I pointed this out to Lucas. I think there's a real possibility, like you go like 1 month of the season at least, where your only two center backs are Tchouaméni and Rudiger, and that's the thing. So my thing was like, okay, you lost Lenny Yoro, you didn't get your guy that you scouted. You don't want to force a signing. You don't want like a last minute like panic signing. You don't want to like desperately buy like the Eden Hazard next mistake, right? So and I know it's very hard to find this person, but to me, like the ideal guy would be who is the Joselu of center backs, who is the 1 year like rental you can get, end of their career, doesn't care about playing time, wants to be part of something really special. Hummels, Pepe.
What happened to Sergio Ramos? What's he doing?
I just don't think that. I think the Ramos.
Varane went to Como. Varane's just hanging out in Como.
better than freaking anyone.
Who are we talking about?
Chouameni.
Chouameni was great. That game in life.
Push him into the center back somehow.
He's a great aerial presence. He is a great passer. Yeah, he's great on the ball. And like actually like the conversion from DM to CB is very common in football history. Like we saw it even at Real Madrid with Fernando Hierro, Ivan Helguero, right? Like it's pretty common. Like it's not reinventing the wheel that much. So I guess the thing is like I guess he doesn't want to play it. Not that much anyway. So here we are. You want to throw out some names? I know you're good at like, pulling these lists up.
I mean, I hope they sign someone just because we're just so short, and it's just worrying that they're trying to like push the idea that they're not going to sign anyone so aggressively. Like they're insisting in club reports, we will not sign anyone. Real Madrid will not sign a center back this summer, and they I trust the board a lot actually. Like my first instinct is that we'll still have a better season than people expect, but you have to like. My main worry is last season. You have Bellingham had like a Messi level finishing season, like just statistically a Messi level finishing season. So when you have a Messi level finishing season, it's like tricky to repeat it multiple times. Not many players in history have done that. Maybe he does, but he really cooled off the second half of the season. He was hurt. I'm not sure if he's getting that surgery. I hope he's 100% next season. And the tricky thing is that as a team, we also outperformed XG a lot. As a defense, like if you don't know what expected goals is, it just measures like how many chances you create and concede. If you listen to the podcast, and it's just like basically we had one of the best outlier seasons in history in terms of finishing, and we did it without a striker and with two of our center backs injured and our main goalie injured, which really like those are the boxes. Like, and they disappeared. And those are the places where traditionally the players who decide the XG, not the midfielders, it's the strikers and the center backs and the goalies who affect XG the most, usually like the actual actions to shot. And we just pulled it off with midfielders, and repeating that is going to be hard because we lost Kroos. Kroos was really central to the balance. And if we're going to play a more athletic style, we may not control games just as much, just as easily, even with Modric in the team, even with Fede and Chouameni being so good, and especially if Chouameni moves to center back, because he was going to be really important in replacing Kroos. He and Kroos really approached the game. They both approached the game very similarly. Like they like playing outside the block and like checking everything out and making their move. So when they like Fede kind of can dribble more, he can take a couple touches into space, but Chouameni is just the outside the block guy. Without him, Camavinga is good. I would like to have both options. And that's just way better tactically because in each game you can choose what you want. You can surprise the opponent. Otherwise, you're stuck with one look. You don't have a curveball. And I don't like that. And yeah, it's a problem. So I'm hoping they sign a center back. I don't have too many names. I hope they sign someone. I mean, unless Joao Martinez is like better than Kubarsi, then I'm down.
Out of curiosity, with how many of you guys think, just show of hands or whatever, is the squad without Kroos, without Nacho, and plus Mbappe and Endrick better than last year? Hands up. Way better. Okay. So there's a few who think that we're actually not as good.
It's like half and half.
And some maybes. A couple maybes. Yeah. And
more knows.
Yeah. What's interesting is like we get a lot of questions like, hey guys, do you guys think Ancelotti will change his playing style now with Mbappe? Will play more attacking football? And I honestly don't know if we do, because
he's gonna play them both on the left the same way he played Rodrigo. They're gonna be both stacking the same left position, and that's it.
That's probably it's gonna be left-sided heavy for sure. But I think like Real Madrid are already the most devastating transition attacking team in the world. With Mbappe, it's just you're even better now at counter-attacking football. I think the problem will be like not many teams will want to let us do that. They're not going to let us sit deep. They're going to want to sit deep themselves and try to give us the ball. It's going to be fascinating to watch. I'm really excited.
We'll be really good in big games, but unless we're playing like Carvajal at center back, that's going to be a problem. I mean,
Played versus City.
City or Chelsea? Chelsea.
No, Carvalho.
Okay,
no,
I have a
he's
take
good.
about this. Hold on.
He's good.
No, I have a take about this. I think there's revisionist history. I went back and watched that Chelsea game. It was pure chaos. No, he was not comfortable. It was heroic, but he was scrambling, bro. And I don't blame him. But I'm just saying, like, if we use that game as evidence that Carvajal can be at CB, I think we gotta pump the brakes.
No, the problem is like you don't want to do too many games of that, like in a row, and then you have anyone gets injured, you're screwed. I don't think Mendy. Some people are suggesting Ferland Mendy at center back. I don't think so. We still might get Davies maybe this summer. I don't know if Bayern come to their senses, and like Bayern could still get smarter and realize that they need to sell him because they're just going to get a year of Davies just sulking and relaxing. So he has enough to give for his next contract at Real Madrid. What's the point of working anymore?
Unless Company turns that around.
Yeah, unless he does. And I'm sure they'll win a trophy this season. I'm pretty confident. I think they'll
Kane's first trophy.
Yeah, the DF. If they don't win, like I think they'll make sure they win the German Cup. I think they'll make sure they win the German Cup, just because they may not win the Bundesliga. Like if Leverkusen pull off another season like that, didn't they get Alex Garcia from Girona? That's like that was one of the best CMs in La Liga last season. Like one of the best distributors outside Real Madrid, Barcelona. So that's a pretty crazy ad. And they still have Granit Xhaka, so that's like two. Now they have their mini Kroos and Modric. They're gonna be good. So Leverkusen are gonna be fun. It's gonna be a great season. But for us, yeah, we got to be careful because just the margins are thin. We got to remember like how we beat City, like, and we got to remember like at points the league got close in like January, February when we were winning. It wasn't a guarantee that we were gonna win the league. Like when we beat Girona, it was great. Obviously, we put some distance. And from there, the league got easier. But I don't expect Barcelona to be that great, like outside 85 points. But just not creating great chances next season, we could easily regress and be around an 85-point team. And if something like that happens, we may not win the league, which would be disappointing. And it's just Tchouaméni at center back is good. I just think like marking him as a center back for the whole season is silly. And if let's say we start the season without center backs, let's imagine what the season is going to go like. Because the margins were so thin last season, but let's just start a season over and see.
Well, the other problem I think that is under discussed is that it's not just that you're spreading yourself thin; it's that the remaining players now get run into the ground. Like you remember 2014, 2015, right? We had that incredible year, and then injuries hit us. Modric had big injuries. We had, a couple of games where Sergio Ramos was playing DM. Kroos was playing every second possible. By the end of it, he was gassed, right? And so, then there's a domino effect of okay, you can get away with playing these remaining two center backs for 3 months. And then now Tchouaméni is playing center back. Camavinga is playing DM. There's no real way to shuffle this to give those guys rest. And then it just goes from there. Show of hands. I just want to get your perspective. I'm very curious to know where the fan base sits on some of these things. Let's assume that everybody's healthy, right? And I know this is this exercise is very hypothetical. It rarely ever happens where everyone is healthy, everyone's available, no suspensions. It's a Champions League final. You have everyone. I mean, let's go through the locks, right? Vinicius and Mbappe are starting. Bellingham is starting. Tchouaméni is starting. Fede Valverde is starting. Is that 5 or 6? 5. Ferland Mendy is starting. Dani Carvajal is starting. Antonio Rudiger is starting. And Eder Militao is starting. And Thibaut Courtois is starting.
And Camavinga.
So that's my next question.
Not starting.
Who, show of hands, would you rather see Rodrigo or Camavinga? We'll start with Rodrigo. Oh, it's like pretty much everyone on this side of the room. Did you guys coordinate this? Everyone on this side of the room?
Wait, that's like wait.
So the other
do it again. Yeah.
Is Rodrigo on one of the streaks?
No such questions allowed. No such conditions allowed. That's the trick with Rodrigo. That's the trick, and that's why you have to decide, and that's why I don't raise my hand.
And I'm the other half of the room is a Camavinga or somebody else?
Camavinga.
Camavinga.
Yeah.
And we got one Goulet here.
What was the formation?
Don't matter, bro. Just vibes. No, so if you go, well, basically what happens is that if you go with the Rodrigo, it's a 4-3-3. If you go with Camavinga, you're getting last year's formation where you get the 4-4-2 and Bellingham just behind. Camavinga takes the Kroos role, right? And to me, like, I don't like. It's not that we have to have the answer to this right now. I'm kind of torn in between it, and I think it really depends on the matchup. The exercise, the theoretical exercise becomes real when, like, if it's like you're playing City in the quarterfinals at the Etihad, everyone's available. Like, what do you go with? I know a lot of people are writing Rodrigo off. And I'm not saying people here are doing that, but I know this because we run a freaking podcast. We see comments that come in, right?
That's why I think it's so much better this year because we have options of going 4-3-3 or 4-4-2.
Yeah.
Depending on the game.
That's what I think too. And I think there's actually less pressure on Rodrigo this year. Because if you think about, like, if he's on the field, first of all, he defends like a maniac. And if you need someone to pair in a 4-3-3 with Vinicius and Mbappe who are not going to defend, Rodrigo is going to work his ass off and he's going to bring some semblance of balance. He's an incredible dribbler. I think Vinicius and Mbappe will just have so much gravity. So many defenders are focusing on them. Rodrigo is going to have more space and less pressure to work with. And I think for that reason, I'm optimistic on Rodrigo's season. I think he's going to have a good year.
You know what I think is going to happen, Ken?
I'm going to move because people are live on YouTube. See if you can speak a little louder.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really kind of like a experimental season because Ancelotti said Mbappe is going to play forward. But I saw Mbappe so many times tracking back. He's really good at creating game too. He wears number 10. He likes number 10. So it wouldn't surprise me if he plays AMC. If he literally just drops like 4-3-3 with him playing behind Rodrigo and Vinny. And in some instances, if he plays behind Vinny, Vinny's on the left and we have no right winger at all, basically. So in that case, you can probably have Camavinga in the midfield, which makes sense because Ancelotti likes to have more midfielders. You know, he likes people through the middle. But honestly, there's so many combinations. I think the first one-third of the season is going to be just experiments. We're not even talking about Arda Güler, you know. Him coming into the game changes the entire formation and how we approach the game too. And these players can all play in a different positions. And Carlos is going to force them to play in a different position. So we'll see. He'll slot, you know, many. You know what he did with Di Maria? Nobody believed when he puts Di Maria in AMC. The guy literally completely he reinvented him as a player. You know, and he will do this with some of these guys.
Yeah, he's a master at reinvention. You know? I think Mbappe might not line up like that on paper, but knowing the way he plays, it's going to be very interchangeable. He's going to be dropping deep.
Like Ronaldo, you know,
or Benzema. Benzema's a good prototype. Benzema was playing like in our own half, right?
It's very similar to Benzema.
Yes, he is.
Way faster, and we think because he's way faster, he's going to be the forward. He's really good at passing. He's really good at creating. He's really good at passing. And every single player in the national team, like people, it's overlooked how good he is in playmaking. You know, he's good at playmaking. So he might play centrally. You know, and then tracking back like a Kane type of player, Benzema type of player.
Yeah, there are going to be a few different setups. They're going to be like, they're probably going to be like 4 different setups. Like I think there are 4 major setups we'll go to. We'll have last year's team with Modric instead of Kroos. I think that's going to happen. And then we're going to have last year's team with Camavinga instead of Kroos as well. And in both instances, last year's team, but with Mbappe probably instead of Rodrigo. And then we're also going to have times when we go to four attackers. And Güler is going to be the attacker a lot of the time. That's just the reality because he's left-footed. And a left-footed player like Güler is really just dangerous because he changes the angles. And then we also have Endrick, we have to remember. My hot take is that I don't know like how much Endrick, like it's his first season, and I think he's gonna need some time to warm up to Spain. He's gonna bring energy off the bench. There are gonna be some matchups where he's probably really cool, and there are gonna be other games where he just has a huge learning curve. Because we've seen he's a little raw, and Real Madrid's obviously a much better environment than Brazil or his last club. But I think it's gonna take him a little bit of time. I think Rodrigo is going to have a good season, but I do think it might be his last season as well at Real Madrid, just because he's too good. We also have Brahim Diaz, we're forgetting, who's another skilled player. So he's definitely going to have to reinvent someone. And I think Goulet and Brahim already have shown that they're pretty good at playing a little deeper. Goulet already has shown that. And I think Brahim is just a phenomenal football player, just a pure football player, great dribbler. Takes some risky decisions when he's forward sometimes because he's a forward. Like when he's thrown on to create goals. Him and Joselu were the highest plus minus per 90 on the team last season. So that just shows how effective he was off the bench. One of the best bench players we've ever seen at Real Madrid, probably. So yeah, I hope they all stay and we don't see some stupid surprise sale near the end like we've seen before, where we lose someone and I get it. Brahim may not someone's not going to see too many minutes, and that's where I think Ancelotti's good at mixing the matchups. We just have to trust him after last season. But we just got to remember, last season was perfect. Everything he tried pretty much came off, all things considered, and that doesn't even happen for the best coaches that often. Just things go wrong in football, and even for us, that was probably the season where we outperformed expectations, maybe the most in even our own history. I'm pretty sure by expected goals. You just got to consider that when you look at the season.
What we have that data until when 2000 what?
13, and we used to outperform it by a lot before. Don't get me wrong, especially
the Cristiano era was Bale and Cristiano would outperform everything.
But see, last year we didn't create as much, so the percentage we outperformed it by was quite a big chunk on both ends, and that was with Lunin instead of Courtois too. And Courtois is good, but even he hadn't had a season for there were stretches where Lunin was just having a better season than he'd ever had, and at Real Madrid, which is just some of the wonky stuff that happened. And
see, it's all about the margins to me. I think back to the games against Leipzig, that first where Lunin and Tchouaméni, those two were just on another level. Lunin was literally Thibaut Courtois, and Tchouaméni was literally Beckenbauer. Those two, without them, I don't think we would have escaped that Leipzig game. There's so much these fine margins. I think this is why I'm really excited about Mbappe. I think the margins just increase with a superstar like that. So we're about 40 minutes in, I think. We want to hear from you guys, okay? So
should we do trivia first, or are we gonna
save trivia for the end. Yeah. If you guys have questions, we're gonna ask you guys to come up here, because this way people listening at home can actually hear you guys and see you guys. You guys can come up here and ask questions, and just raise your hand and we'll bring you on up. And if not, Sid and I are happy to just keep talking. We have talking points for days. But does anyone have a question? Yes, come on up here. Come on here. Round of applause. Name on the back. You want to show everyone? I guess you guys have already seen it. We haven't seen it.
I read all your articles, watch all your stuff. So thank you guys for coming.
Awesome, man. Scooch on in.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put this in
into the camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hi everyone. I'm Sam.
You gotta say hello, YouTube.
Hi YouTube.
There you go.
Great to see you. My question to everyone in the group is the impact on Kroos's departure, because I think we get really excited about Mbappe, but I think that's a big deal. The stability, the composure, the experience, and everyone says you should love when you watch Kroos and how he plays, and I really feel that when I watched the game, things looked so in control, and I worry how that will play out with him gone.
Yeah,
and I did not get that sense of stability watching Tchouaméni. I think Modric is obviously fantastic, but even the legs are tiring a little bit. And I think my concern is we get really excited about Mbappe that we kind of overlook this possible new hole in our midfield that we've relied on for a decade. So I was wondering everyone's perspective on that, how we're going to approach that. Do we think that our midfield's a suitable replacement, or we change the system? But that's just a concern I have. So
it's a valid concern. I mean, we haven't really stopped talking about this, I think, since the sad news when it was announced that he was leaving, right? And I think there's going to be specific games. I mean, there could be many games, but I think there's going to be specific games where you're going to miss him. And I always bring back City as an example. The City at the Etihad game. And I know it's just one singular game, but I think we have to go through those motherfuckers every year to win this Champions League for a long time, because it's going to be us and them, I think, for a while. That Etihad is one of the hardest games on the entire schedule, is that away game at the Etihad. And you reflect, and I was there at the Etihad this season, that game. And you could tell Kroos was playing on his own planet. Like they're pressing us like crazy, and we're giving the ball away. There's one guy just levitating. He's escaping pressure. He's cold-blooded. He's evading challenges. He's dribbling past one or two players. He's finding the right pass. I don't know if there's anyone. The thing is, like, you can't replace him.
Yeah.
If you could replace him, it means he's not one of the greatest players ever, right? The reason you can't replace him is because he's Toni Kroos. This is why I think like Modric's renewal becomes really important now.
He don't play a lot.
I think he's going to play quite a bit. Like he's now the guy, because if he came in that Etihad game, he replaced Toni Kroos.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh shit, Kroos is gone. But Modric picked up right there, right where Kroos was playing, like at that level. And so maybe Modric can't do it for 72 games or whatever ludicrous number we're playing this season, but he can definitely do it if he's rested in between. So I think he becomes important. Sid mentioned it earlier, but Tchouaméni's progressive passing. It's obviously not Toni Kroos because no one is, but I think he's important too in that context. The other one is, and you're the Goulet guy, right? I think Goulet can, you were speaking about reinventions. I like what I saw in the Euros. I saw Goulet drop deep quite a bit and help Turkey escape the press and play some vertical passes. That's right. And he's kind of like a hybrid 10, right winger, CM, kind of that kind of mishmash of prototype. But I think I'd keep an eye on Goulet too. Oh, the other one, I have one more. Am I going to steal yours? I've been talking too much. Go for it.
No, you go first, because mine is definitely the one. I don't think
yours is like a left field.
Yeah.
Okay. Jude Bellingham. I think in terms of controlling tempo, he's very good at that too. I mean, he watches a Zidane comp before every time he plays. He slows the game down like Zidane. I mean, I assume.
Oh, I mean, Jude's good. He's a long ways away from Kroos. But
it's already hot enough in this room. We don't have hot takes.
Jude's good, but he's not like he's not like anywhere near Kroos. No, none of the guys are in that sense, but like they're all like pretty good. Like I'd say they're like all 80th, 85th percentile. Like Fede and Tchouaméni especially. I think they're gonna step up a lot. And Jude's gonna drop more. Everyone's gonna play a role. Goulet, as they said. Even Camavinga is gonna have to improve how he approaches just controlling tempo, hopefully, and just gets good at like just varying the pace a lot. Because he's just incredible at going forward, no doubt. And he got way better at it this season, I thought. Just way better at, more comfortable in midfield. And my expectation actually is that Alaba, once he comes back, is very key as well, if he can get healthy, because like Alaba is one of the best ball playing center backs ever, just ever.
Doesn't he play for Austria? Is that
no, not because he played Austria, because he has like such a good education from Bayern, where he started at left back and then he played center back at points under Pep, I think, but especially during the treble he played center back, and so he's obviously has weaknesses defensively, but in build up he's just incredible. So Alaba coming back earlier would be good. And that was what I was going to say earlier. Alaba, I hope he's not back in January. That would suck. Because
you want him back earlier.
Yeah. Just and I wonder if they're like almost hiding it, because Gavi is running again and he was hurt like around that time as well. Obviously he's younger. Alaba, I just feel like I think the operation went wrong or something. Yeah, and like it didn't, like he experienced a relapse. So yeah, that's the problem. So we'll see. Hopefully,
who takes our corners if it's a 4-4-2 and you have because Tchouaméni's the aerial threat.
Yeah,
and
I don't know. That's the question I have too. I mean, if he's on the field, yeah.
If it's with
Camavinga, Bellingham's an aerial threat.
So if he's on the field, I would love Goulet to take them.
If not, Vinny or Mbappe.
The other one, like
Vinny or Mbappe.
Fede takes corners for Uruguay.
Yeah, Fede can take it.
Yeah, it's a different style of corner. He like just kind of drives it, and it's a dangerous
shot.
ball into the box, right? Like,
Miss that guy that
I mean,
outside the box.
I don't see.
yeah,
I guess maybe not Vinny or Mbappe, but like maybe Rodrigo. Just
Yeah.
He's on the field.
they're good. I get they can head the ball, Vinny especially, but like Mbappe and Rodrigo are not like some crazy header guys. Like they're not that insane in the air. So
But they're not precise with passing.
yeah, I know corners aren't easy. You usually want a midfielder.
Dave's corner or something.
Okay, and yeah. The thing is, like Goulet would, if he's on the field, we'll take him. If Modric is on the field, he'll take him.
our answer to this is naming everyone in the squad if he's on the field. They can
Everyone's so good.
I mean, maybe that's why they want Tchouaméni at center back. They want to free up more time and if Brahim's on the field, he can take him. Sorry.
Any love?
If
in this?
Alaba's on the field, maybe even he can take him. And then
Alaba, yeah.
otherwise, maybe even like Ferland Mendy.
He's getting a little too crazy now, bro.
What if we just have Courtois run up? Actually, no, he could head it in. I know Courtois is too tall. If you have him run up, you might as well.
I think Carlo took them from Milan in the 80s. I think he might be able to pull it out. Is there any love in this room for Dani Ceballos?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple.
There's some
Yeah?
people that Ceballos.
Not anymore.
I think
He's
people
good as a sub for the last like 10 minutes.
I think people forget
Two
2 years ago how well he played.
It was great 2 years ago.
I mean, I know he wasn't great last year, don't get me wrong. But people are inconsistent. Just like Rodrigo went from blot to blot this year,
Yeah.
So I my faith isn't totally gone.
Yeah, we need more people like this, man. Optimistic.
Maybe too optimistic.
Damn, we really don't have a corner taker. Like that's how bad this is. Things aren't looking good this season.
Sorry?
I heard Ceballos performed best when his contract is running out.
Yes. Contract year Ceballos.
He got that contract after that really great year, to be
That's
fair.
what they
He was
call
great.
players. They call them contract.
Look, man, he
year.
did have injury concerns last year. I think he's a good squad player to have. We'll see. I'm still on the Dani Ceballos bandwagon for what it's worth. Yeah, I'm gonna stay on there. Any other questions, bro?
I just want to say a hot take.
Yes, please.
My hot take is that I think with all the attacking talent in the squad, if Rodrigo does not perform, I think Goulet might start. Okay. I think he really started impressing end of last season and at the Euros with Turkey. And I think with the attacking talent in the team, if Rodrigo's inconsistency to an extent, I don't think will be tolerated.
Of course.
So,
I agree.
I actually don't think that's that hot of a take.
Me too.
Like,
me too.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
me too.
like I think,
Okay.
but I think it's a good thing for the
My
squad. By
bad.
the way. No, it's not your bad.
But
It's a great take.
I
No,
agree, but I'm considered a Rodrigo hater or whatever.
I mean, he's obviously great, but I feel similarly about Bellingham a little bit. Last year, we say he cooled off, but he really cooled off. Like relative to the stats, I'm not saying all he
Scoring wise, yeah.
scoring wise, he contributed a lot more defensively. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that playing styles change, but Rodrigo is an attacker, so his job is to score, unlike Bellingham, where he can become more defensive like player.
But so like I think this is like a really quote unquote good problem to have. Like
It's a
the
fantastic.
fact that like we have all these players and this much depth and attack is like, if there is anyone not performing to the best of their abilities, there is people breathing down their necks, right? Which I think can only be good for the squad if all these players are fighting to play well in the limited time they have to impress. And I think it's healthy, like whether it's Rodrigo, Camavinga, Arda Güler, Brahim Diaz, all these guys are going to be fighting like hell to earn their spot. I think it's a good thing. So
Camavinga's not going to be fighting though if we don't sign a center back.
yeah.
If we don't sign a center back, Camavinga's going to be in demand. But I mean, it's going to be fun. Like, it's a dogfight between Brahim, Güler, and Rodrigo.
So you're going to see your idol Arda Güler in action on Wednesday. You're going to be in the stadium.
I have a ticket.
Okay.
I can't go anymore.
Ooh.
But I'm going to try to fly to New York for the one on
Okay.
Saturday.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
I will very likely be at the one in New York.
If we see someone streaking on the field, trying to tackle Arda Güler.
Makes sense.
All right. Thank you, bro.
Appreciate it.
Awesome. Any other questions? Yes, come on up. How are you doing, Tom? Nice. What's up, bro? What's your name?
Tashi.
Tashi, right. Yeah. Nice to meet you, bro.
Yep.
Hi,
Hi,
YouTube. Hi, YouTube.
So my question is a follow up on Kroos. So I think like maybe I mean Kroos has so many skills, right? So maybe the whole team can like contribute like so we have to dissect Kroos, like what makes Kroos Kroos.
Mhm.
So some things I can think of, and we already talked about it, like the set piece, and for that we have Modric and Rodrigo. Like long passing, Chomini is pretty good, like with long pass, like progressive passing, and I guess Modric, and like handle pressure, like escape pressure. I mean, we saw the one touch, like the turnaround roulette by Jude, and he also dropped deeps. So like what else am I missing, like of what makes Kroos Kroos, and how do you think like the whole team can like step up, like yeah, like
Yeah. You went. All right. Yeah, I mean, I think mainly you're right about the set pieces. You got that for sure. We talked about it. And I think the main thing that makes him is first and like second phase progression. That's how I look at it. Like first, second phase, and like balls into the final third. Like that's what he did so effectively. So in each phase, you need players who can do that for the team. They don't all need to do it in all phases, but everyone needs to do a little bit in each phase. So I think the burden gets really divided among a lot of players in terms of build-up play. And I don't think it's as simple as you put Modric in there and he plays exactly like Kroos. I don't think even Modric will play exactly like Kroos. His pass volume's a little lower. He's still pretty high accuracy. But I think the long balls you mentioned, Militao is actually pretty good at long balls. Rudiger is when he needs to be sometimes. You can get him to do it. Alaba, when he plays, is also incredible. Fede is actually pretty decent at those. He's getting way better. So don't sleep on Fede. And I really think Fede is going to do the most in the first and second phase of almost any player to replace him in terms of just progression. It won't have to look the exact same. Just keep that in mind. Like Fede is way more athletic. He can escape. Kroos' specialty was doing it the same way again and again and again. Other players don't always do that. Fede does it differently depending on the game. Just because he can take those touches into space if you leave him any space. So teams defend him differently than Kroos. And he's so fast. It's just a different game. Yeah, but mostly just worried about in those really hard games, who picks out the right pass. But the other thing is, I guess the only benefit might be that Kroos always playing the same way. Maybe we get a little different look. We're gonna play maybe faster this season, and maybe we still control games when we want to, but we play faster. That's a possibility with all the players. And yeah, I think in the final third, I think Güler really does become important the more I think about him. But we'll see. And Jude will be pretty key too in terms of getting balls from the first or second phase and getting it into the final third. So yeah, I mean, I think the main thing about our team is they play together. So that's what's fun. They all just come together and they play. And that was obviously made possible with Kroos, but I don't see why it'll go away that fast. He created a culture, and yeah, I mean, I think Fede is going to be the most replacement though, the biggest.
Can you read through your list again? Or just give us the 10-second version. There's the attributes.
Set piece, long pass, I guess handle press, drop deep.
Yeah. I'll add experience. There's a je ne sais quoi about him that just what I was mentioning earlier at the Etihad, the way he just and I remember one of my favorite quotes was in 2018, we were playing against Bayern in Munich, and he said something that I always refer to. That game was really difficult. I mean, every game against Bayern always is, right? You guys know the drill against Bayern. Generally speaking, against Bayern, it's very, very even, very just difficult. So that 2018 game in Munich, and he said after the game, he said, it doesn't matter what kind of adversity we're going through. It doesn't matter how hostile the atmosphere is. It doesn't matter how difficult the game is, how much they're pressing us. We've been through it all. It doesn't faze us. And just that attitude to have someone like that on the field, and it's not just words, because we obviously see him on the field to know that he can back up what he's saying. I think that's the part about Toni Kroos that is, to me, almost underrated. It's a quiet leadership. It's not like the Sergio Ramos leadership where he's more vocal and loud and he's, in your face. But it's just a kind of leading with his body language. Like, don't worry, guys. We're good. We're going to get through this. I think you're going to miss that a lot about him. Like, that's like an underrated Kroos thing. Like, it's his experience for me.
He's like better defensively than Chouameni. He's like, okay, I'm a defensive midfielder. He puts on a better game defensively than any DM I've seen. He can read every single pass. He played like DM so many times, and he just shuts down teams.
I mean,
Tony, without playmaking, he was just solo DM.
Sid is about to disagree with you here.
No way. I mean, Kroos' defense was like not that great. He was a really not a great individual defender. We had a lot of athletes to cover him, and that's just how it is with veterans like him. But I actually think that's the one thing that might get more interesting, because we have more athletes on the field a lot of times. So,
but I think what made Kroos so great in the last 2 years is that his defense actually went up a level.
Yeah, that
like
factors,
these last 2 years, he was actually great defensively.
Yep.
And he's always been good behind the ball in defense. It was his tracking that was an issue, right? I think the last couple of years he was really good in that regard.
He never had to play. He didn't get better. He just never had to play defense. There was instances in this last 2 years when he actually had to play.
No, bro. What we're saying is that there are plenty of moments in Kroos, as much as we love him, where he's just jogging back when the team's like needs him to sprint back. I think those moments in the last.
That's what I said. When it was required of him to play defense, he was literally one of our best defensive players. Like so many games.
We're gonna agree to disagree on this one, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. Did I answer your question?
Yes. Just a shout out, like for CB.
I thought you were gonna shout out to your mom or something. I want to thank God.
Hermoso, he's free. If we need like aerial kind of defense, I mean, he seems pretty good.
Oh, get Hermoso here, man.
Because often like we like the first game of the last season with Atletico, those were two like past cross goals. So like not Alaba, not Camavinga, none of them could like do anything about like the aerial threat. So I mean, just throwing the name Hermoso.
He's free. He's on a free transfer.
Yeah, he's free.
He's signing for Atletico.
Really? He resigned?
Oh, okay.
Today the news was probably didn't read.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm living under a rock, so I don't know what the news is.
Yeah, it was today.
Yeah.
I don't know. There was a lot of news today.
All right. No, he was just laughing at me. He was just he was just telling me something. So
okay.
All right.
Awesome, bro. Thank you so much. You going to the game on Wednesday?
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. Have fun, bro. Who else we got? Lies. You're lying. Slobo, come on up, bro.
Coming to destroy you.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm gonna have to give out your buddy.
I'd
favorite player.
I'd rather have you here because the YouTube has no idea who's yelling, who's heckling from the back.
It's me, guys. It's me.
All right, so just to give you guys some context, so I've actually known Slobodan since the year 2000. So that's why he can give me shit a little bit.
That's what I'm like throwing.
But the funny thing is, we actually didn't meet in person until
a few years ago when you were at the.
A few years ago in Chicago. We did a podcast in Chicago. The story is, back before social media got really big, we had message boards. Like now it's Reddit is is the main forum, right? But back then there was this. Does it still exist?
Extra Time. It does exist, but it's like that basically.
Okay, it was this forum called Extra Time, and it's like basically you go and every single team had a section, like Real Madrid, Barcelona, Spanish football, Valencia. Like that was back when Valencia was good, right? Like they had their Deportivo La Coruña had their own forum. So me and him were posting there. I was 13, like just talking shit about Raul. Like I would defend him like crazy. I was on there all day.
We were all like that. I was
Yeah.
a Benzi fanboy.
Yeah.
But now my question is for your boy Camavinga. That's like, for me, that's the most kind of like the guy with the biggest. And I didn't like him at the start. I thought he's too raw to kind of play.
This is news to me.
Yeah, I was not like very vocal about it, but you said it once, like I'm most
unacceptable.
I don't know who asked you, but who were you most excited about? And you said like I'm most excited about Camavinga.
Yeah.
My question is, do you think, and this guy is pretty young still, he's like pretty, and he has so much experience. Do you think he can reach any level that he can play Modric position and the way Modric plays? From all the players that we have, that's the only guy that actually can do that. He does work on that dribble, on that turnaround, that like in space, he wants to scan the area before he gets the ball. Like Modric does that basically. He scans it and then he moves to a certain area. And he's the only one that I see from the squad that is trying to actually do that. Get the ball, and before he gets it, he wants to make a decision where to move, which is literally what Modric does, but he's just technically gifted.
Yeah.
Camavinga is like raw, but I can see that he can do it. Do you believe that he can actually reach that level?
No, but that's in part because I don't think anyone will reach what Modric.
Yeah, but
did.
not to that. Like Kroos, like there's not like
Yeah.
maybe he might be the best of
We're
all
talking
time.
about the next best version of
exactly,
that. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because
I think that was the idea of actually getting Camavinga. He was supposed to take over Luka Modric basically style of play, but we don't have anybody for Tony, which is kind of like bizarre. That's like more crucial position to me than even Modric. Like Modric is like maybe 10. He got with Kroos, like I don't know, irreplaceable. Like I was hoping for Bernardo Silva. That was a guy that I really was like, this guy can literally substitute both of them in one player. But I don't know, Camavinga is the only guy from the squad that I see that can actually, because creativity is what I'm like afraid of. We have no creativity. And do you think that maybe we're gonna play like low block, a very deadly low block?
Yeah.
Like literally, if we play low block, we play low block versus City.
Yeah.
Like people really don't want to accept this fact, but when we play City, we play low block, and we hope on Vinny to kind of hit. Now we have two players that can literally smoke you in a low block and just score. This is France. This is how France won World Cup, Euro Cup. Basically, low block, Mbappe, bye. Do you think that? Do you see us? And would you enjoy that kind of? These are two questions, by the way.
I lost track of the questions.
First one was Camavinga.
Yeah.
Second one is, do you think
Yeah.
that we actually can start playing low block
I think we will play low block
versus good?
Like when it's very clear that a team is going to expose their high line and we just have so many weapons that it can exploit it. City is a good example of that. Now, I think like even
Barca.
Yeah, why not? We cooked them doing the same thing in the.
But low
Super
block,
Copa.
you basically give them the play.
Yeah, because Araujo is going to be playing at the halfway line, and he's going to have to. He's already having nightmares defending Vinny, so now he has to defend Vinny and Mbappe together, and he's like playing. And Hansi Flick is going to play high line, so yeah, I would say why not?
Low block with Mbappe and Vinny, that would be like.
Yeah,
insane.
that's why I think there's going to be like just so many awesome transition goals this season because. Why not use the weapons we have at our disposal? But I also think like even against City, it's funny because sometimes I think we misremember it almost. The first leg we were going at City like with a different brand of football, and then at Etihad, when up until the point Rodrigo scored, we were all over them with possession, and then we decided, okay, now we have the lead. Now we're going to sit back. But anyways, back to your first question, I think.
How far do you think this guy can go?
Really far.
Camavinga.
Really far.
Really far?
Yeah.
I think so.
I think he's going to be like an all-time Real Madrid player. Like 10 years from now, like he's still going to be there, like just being reliable. I think if you're going to compare him to Modric, where he does compare to Modric is his versatility. He can cover.
He has flair too.
He has flair.
Like flair.
He can dribble.
Yeah.
He can dribble out of tight spaces. He can shoot. He can cover a lot of ground defensively. He can play multiple positions. He can cover for the left back. He can get in the attacking third. He can combine the left.
He's good on the left with Mbappe. I think that's one of his goods. He likes to play on the left more. And even in the French squad, like I don't know why the Champ didn't play him. Like he's
Yeah.
really good with Mbappe. He's like he plays good with him. He just never got a real chance. You know, I think he got pissed about that. But,
Yeah. What do you
yeah.
think? Camavinga, Modric.
I mean, they're different players, but Camavinga is
I
just
can't.
really
Yeah, we
good
can't really
defensively.
compare Modric. Just like
Camavinga is just like different defensively. He's just more of like a crazy athlete. Like Modric is a phenomenal defender. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
He was a really good 1v1 defender, a good team defender.
Yeah.
Camavinga is just more like one of the best slide tacklers like we've ever seen. Just a ridiculous slide tackler.
That's why I compared him.
And
he's overall good,
offensive
and defensive.
Yeah. It's just they're both all rounders for sure. It's just Camavinga, I'd say, leans a little more defensive, his split, in terms of contribution. And I'd say he's like more of like a long distance dribbler than Modric. Modric is more of a like short distance player, more of a playmaker. Camavinga is more of a long distance dribbler. To become like Modric, he needs to like shorten the distances he like dribbles when he receives the ball and look to distribute the ball and think like 1-2 moves ahead more. And what he does more is like get the ball and progress into really good areas. And he started to think 1 or 2 moves ahead, but to the degree Modric does, I don't think so. And that's something he needs to pick up over time. That's what I think he's gotten better at over the seasons. When he first got here, when he was raw, I think what it really meant was he wasn't thinking at all that way. He was just like trying to make whatever he could do go work. He was just trying to try things, and that looked good. Now over time, he's learned what to try. He's learned what's risky more.
He's getting better.
Yeah, and he can get even better at that. But maybe he's just like too good at dribbling to confine him to that. He's just like a lot like Marcelo in the way he can dribble. And Modric is great, but he wasn't like Marcelo. He's just more of like a stationary player than Marcelo. And so Camavinga's like got that athleticism, and he's just always going to be more of a Rolls Royce player. Modric always played like at a slower speed, and he was still incredible. Just like Camavinga's more up and down. I think he's always going to cover more ground.
Just to add on this, like before, because I said like people already looked at me, it's like, oh, don't create heat when I said Jude Bellingham is better than Zizou at 20.
I was just
at
joking
19.
about that.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
So
actually.
20. So for people who don't know, Zizou, we didn't even know who Zizou
He was a late
was
bloomer.
until 24. No, he was probably good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I couldn't watch French league.
Yeah.
And he was 24 when he came to Juventus. And we, I mean, when he came to Real Madrid, again, I don't know how much you guys remember, but he was literally booed for week in and week out. Remember, before that Champions League goal that he scored, he was booed.
Yeah.
So Jude, 19. And Camavinga is the same thing. Modric came to Real Madrid, doubted the biggest failure. The worst transfer. They wanted to make him the worst transfer. Remember, Modric was what, 26 when he came?
Yeah.
So we're talking about one guy 26. The other guy, Zizou, came like what, 28, 29?
29.
He came at Real Madrid. So Zizou, one of my all-time favorite player. Ronaldo de Lima, Zizou. I just don't want to sound like I'm a Zizou hater. Second favorite player. But these kids, 19?
Yeah.
19, he comes to Real Madrid, Jude, and literally wins the Champions League.
Yeah.
And the good thing is Mbappe, he was like kind of being like a little bit skeptical. I mean, you have a guy like Mbappe, he's so hungry. He's going to tear it up. I think we're winning La Liga landslide this year. And I think Champions League, like you said, is going to be only City. If we beat City, there's nobody who can beat us, literally. And I'm not at all worried about the center back. Probably Tchouaméni is going to be playing center back a lot. And it's going to be some kind of hybrid lineup, He like Ancelotti likes these hybrid lineups. They're just like no player plays at the position. He wants people to improvise. I mean, he just like that, and he's like, oh, I may put Tchouaméni here. He might be go forward, as a center back. In like desperate situations, and maybe like he said, we will try the 4-2-4, which is Arsene Wenger famous formation back in the days. Remember when they played like with 4 attackers, Arsenal? We can play that formation easily. We just skip the midfield completely. We don't play with midfielders. I mean, that worked. You remember that lineup? Henry, Perez, Viltort, Bergkamp? And there was only Vieira and freaking Tony Adams in the midfield.
Those were the double pivot days.
Yeah, dude. They were like crashing. We can probably do the same formation. Yeah, he's right about that. Anyways, nice seeing you.
Pen drop. All right, cool.
You guys are awesome.
All right, thank you, bro.
Don't wait too long for the next one.
No, definitely not.
All right. Well, for the last one, I'm gonna call up anyone I want from the audience.
Oh shit. Okay.
Are you guys cool with that?
Reese, go Reese.
All right. I mean, I can call up multiple people if someone wants me to call up someone else desperately. But I'm gonna call you up because you've been laughing at me.
All right.
Since he's been laughing at me the whole time. Not just him. Don't worry, I've been watching.
Oh damn, you got that already?
Yeah, I got the new jersey, so I hope I don't regret it.
Yo, someone's here.
Hey, what's up, Jorge? Oh, Jorge Picon. This is guys from Relevo. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right, what was your name? Sorry.
I'm Nick.
Nick.
Hey guys.
Yeah. Hey YouTube.
I guess one thing I'm worried about is, as we know, Mbappe and Vinny kind of both like the left side coming in from the left. Are you guys worried that they're gonna get in each other's way? How long do you think it'll take them to gel? I guess is the next question.
I'm ready to go with this like guns blazing answer, but you go ahead if you got something.
I feel like Mbappe is better at like most things on the wing than Rodrigo. And Rodrigo and Vinny don't really get in each other's way. I know they have experience playing with each other, and they're both from Brazil. But I think Mbappe and Vinny will get along really well just because Jude and even like Camavinga when he plays and others, they all like get together on the wing. They really play together. And I've been just watching Mbappe at PSG. It really sucked for him this last season, the way they played. Like it was super controlled. He didn't really have like much to do other than like try to make passes into the box on the wing sometimes. And I think it was just a bad environment. I think this environment's way better. So whatever growing pains they have will be offset by the fact that I think like this environment's way better for him, the floor. Maybe there's some growing pains, but Carlo's like really good at figuring stuff like this out.
Yeah.
So if there's growing pains, it'll be figured out within like a month.
I'm not
1 month.
I'm not 1 month.
1 month.
I'm not worried about this at all. Like
Okay.
I think just in terms of like putting together two players who have never played together, I don't think it gets more seamless than Mbappe and Vinicius. Just because we've seen these combination of like two left-sided heavy players who can link up and create chances together. Like we've seen Vinicius really benefit from the presence of Rodrigo on the left side like before, right? Because it just helps decongest all the defenders who are on that side. Mbappe, and we saw the Vinicius and Benzema connection. We were talking earlier about how Mbappe actually is similar to Benzema in some ways, that he's a link-up player, right? He plays deep, he can play passing combinations, he can dribble, he's a great passer. So I just think that they're meant to play together. I really do. So I don't know if that comes back to blow up in my face, but I'm pretty optimistic about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I mean, it seems like this season they're just gonna overload on the left side more.
Yeah.
And you won't have Kroos like doing the crossfield pass to Carvajal.
Yeah.
You know.
Pena will be.
I mean, do you think Pena is as good on the left side as the right side?
No, but I mean, we'll see, because Tchouaméni's gonna be playing center back by the looks of it. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of off the cuff play. You know, we saw Vinny go to the right even against City and cross it in. So they're just gonna play off the cuff. The vibes are gonna be good. They're gonna play like they're little kids again, instead of being restricted by these evil positional play coaches. Like Mbappe is just leaving the shackles. No, Enrique.
Oh, Luis Enrique.
Yeah, I mean that's what happened last season. And Enrique is a good coach, but like Mbappe is not built to be like one of those. He'll benefit here a lot. Like this is who he's meant to play for, and I think we'll see that.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nick, are you happy, Nick?
Yeah.
Are you upset that I called you up?
No.
All right.
All right. Thank you, Nick.
right.
Okay, man. Jorge, can you come up, please? Please. Yeah. No, it's perfect, bro. Come on. Jorge Picon. What's up, bro?
How are you?
Good. How are you, man? Good to see you. Hi.
Nice
How
to
are
meet
you?
you.
This is
Nice
Sid.
to meet you.
So he thought I was joking. I told Jorge on Instagram, I said, if I see you walk in the room, I immediately bring you on stage. And he's like,
That's why I don't want to come. But I'm here.
So Jorge works for Relevo, just does incredible work, and just a lot of, if you like, whether it's, sorry, my voice is gone. Whether it's keeping up with the most current Real Madrid news, whether it's just getting analysis on Real Madrid or just getting inside information. He's your guy. You got in Chicago last night?
I was here at Saturday. I arrived at Saturday. Yeah. So we saw today the first training session.
Yeah.
Of Real Madrid here at UEC. That is University of Illinois here in Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
did you notice anything interesting with?
Well, he tried today with Joan Martinez as a starter, I think. Yeah, something strange, because
we have a lot of Joan Martinez fans here.
Yeah, it's normal,
Yeah,
16 years old, he's like a kid. So he started. I don't know if that's their team that he's going to use, but he started with Fran Garcia, Rudiger, Joan Martinez, and Lucas Vazquez at the back. I don't know if that's the team, but maybe that's like a test.
Yeah,
maybe because Asensio was in the other team, that maybe is the La Fabrica player who is more veteran, that maybe can play this game. But maybe he's trying now Joan Martinez to leave him the next games. Maybe to have he's going to give him some minutes, but not like the start a game and playing more time. So maybe he played this one against Milan and then the other one will rest. So I think that's like maybe we can see Joan Martinez a lot of minutes against. Yeah,
that's very exciting. Like these are the fun things from preseason. Like you get to see these young players. And
this guy's huge, dude. 16-year-old.
He's really tall. He's strong.
He's huge, dude.
I think he's like he have like the same condition as Jacobo Ramon. That's the other La Fabrica player.
Yeah.
But somebody from Valdebebas, from Real Madrid, told me that he's stronger than Jacobo Ramon was at his age. So I think he maybe have more conditions to grow faster and maybe to have minutes with, I don't know, the first team, it's something crazy. But, maybe we can watch him playing at the first level sooner than Jacobo Ramon. I think, really.
What did any takeaways from seeing Endrick with the team?
Whoa, his legs are crazy.
Yeah,
really crazy. He's like a tank.
Yeah, strong.
Yeah, he's a little bit small. He's not really taller, but he are really strong with his low body, his legs. He hit a lot with Rudiger.
Yeah, I saw the
really.
Yeah.
There was a time that Rudiger said, "We have to go stronger. We have to go strong." At the other play, he go
strong challenge.
With Enric at the field, with some pain in his back.
Yeah,
well, something crazy. But he's really good. He's really good. He scored like 3 or 4 goals in a small match game that played today. So, he's like he have like that smell, that great player
aura.
Aura. It's like I think is from the Brazilian players that play for Real Madrid now, he's the most prepared player to play for Real Madrid now. With 18 years old,
at that age.
At that age,
at that age.
I think he's like, and he have that special feeling, that he can appear in every moment. So,
well, he definitely has more experience than Vinicius and Rodrigo did coming, right?
Well, Rodrigo have more games. I watched that statistic. Rodrigo have more games at Brasileirão, at first division from Brazil. But he played more at Libertadores, great games. He scored a lot of goals. He plays for Brazil.
Yes,
at Bernabeu, at Wembley. So that give you another thing.
Yeah, there was a few videos of Goulet and Endrick combining from training today.
Yeah.
Goulet
is something crazy. Yeah, Goulet. You can.
Goulet number one fan.
No, it's normal. You have to watch him, the way he changed his feet, the ball. He's always doing things. The ball never stop with him. He have a control, but the ball is still running, and he changed the way and go the ball to another place of the pitch.
Yeah.
And there was a team Ancelotti combined Nico Paz, Arda Güler, and Modric in. That was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy because too much talented players. The ball was really fast there. The other team, they can catch the ball.
They couldn't get the ball.
Yeah. But really, really, really good to watch the three play together. Yeah.
What do you go ahead?
Who else was there? Was Militao there?
No, the Brazilian players will come. I'm going to tell you exclusive.
Okay. Exclusive.
Yeah, because
live on YouTube.
This is not published at Relevo now, but I will publish. They, they told the team, they told Real Madrid they will be back at 1st of August. And the idea is to play the Clásico against Barcelona in New Jersey. Vini, Rodrigo, and Militao, the three of them. Let's see if they play as starters, but this is the idea of the team, because the real thing is they just going to have 2 sessions or two training sessions. But, the Real Madrid wants to have them for that game. I think maybe it's a tournament in the United States. You have to take your best players to, how this function, how this works. But they will be there for sure at the Clásico. So I think we can watch them at MetLife Stadium.
Nice.
What do you expect of preseason? Like, is there anything that you're keeping your eye on? You're mostly interested to see?
I think Arda is the one to watch.
Yeah,
because it's like a test for him if he can be to be a starter at Real Madrid is really difficult. So I think it's for him now it's almost impossible. But just to be that 12, 13 player, that can help the team in games, in difficult games against the best teams. To be in front of Ceballos, maybe to be in front of to be chosen first, Brahim, So he's the one to watch, and then Endrick for sure. Endrick, I think Endrick will have a lot of minutes this season. I think will be difficult to watch Ancelotti substitute Mbappe, but when he do that, for sure it will be for Endrick.
Endrick?
Yeah, for sure.
You think he'll play the same amount as like Joselu did last year? The same amount of playing
Could
time?
be that, yeah, could be, and it's a really long season. Today I was speaking with Real Madrid workers, and there are a lot of games. Could be 72 games if everything goes well. If you, it's a lot of games. They start at July and end at July of the next year. It's something crazy. So you need a lot of players. You need everyone ready to help the team. And I think every player of the team will have his moment.
Yeah.
But you have to be ready for that moment.
Yeah.
And for sure, Endrick will have minutes for sure.
Yeah. That sounds about right. That's what I thought too. Like Endrick, when I saw Joselu leave, different types of players, right? Endrick and Joselu, very different.
I think if you ask Carlo, he prefer now Joselu, because what you're saying, he's a different kind of player, a player who let you make crosses from the sides.
Yeah.
But in the moment that Endrick, start playing and start focusing on how Real Madrid is playing, and the teammates learn how he played and how he moved, I think he will have really good moments. I think he's a player that can change games, that is fast, that moves really well at defenders' back. So he's a different kind of player, but I think he could be as helpful as Joselu, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you know if they reported that they're not going to sign a center back. That's the official news, right?
Yeah, that's what Real Madrid are saying.
Nothing more.
Let's see. Real Madrid never closed that door.
Yeah.
But the real thing is that they are saying that they are not going to sign any center back. They have Militao, they have Rudiger. Let's see Vallejo. The idea right now is to keep Vallejo because you don't
keep
have
him.
Yeah. Let's see. you know, because this is, I don't want to be that, but you know, you don't have more. Yeah, that's a problem. You know, he have a lot of injuries. We have the feeling that he is not football player since, I don't know, 3 years maybe. Yeah, he have some media in Spain say that have some mental problems, you know, because all the injuries and don't complete that expectations about his, well.
Aren't we supposed to have like 5 players from the cantera in the first team also? We have 5 teams from the youth, basically from Real Madrid academy.
Right now,
rule in Spain? Yeah.
No. You don't. Well, if that's necessary, you have to count that. For example, Rodrigo, Vinicius, Valverde, they are like, yeah.
The rule is there, right?
It's for Champions League, I think, not for La Liga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's important too.
Yeah.
So I think that's why we can't play guys like Lucas Vazquez.
Yeah, that's it. But I think it's not a problem right now. I think I have to check it well, but Real Madrid is not worried about it, so I think it's. And let's see what happened with the center back. There is a possibility about Mario Gila, that is the one who played for Castilla, and now it's at Lazio. I think that's, you know, like the cheapest and maybe the best, you know, and the best option for Real Madrid right now, because they are not going to do a big expensive, you know, they have Euro as plan A, plan B, and plan C. So the moment that Euro says no, it was like, you know, well, let's see what are going to do now, but we are not going to have a quick reaction to have. No, they will think about it. They will check the market, and let's see what they're going to do.
Bastoni, right? Next year, the Inter center back.
Bastoni, but Bastoni is too expensive, for example, and you know, always
not
Real
this
Madrid.
year. Yeah, not this year.
No, and Real Madrid is always looking, you know, like the contractual situation of every player. Joro was a player, young player, really good, that was in his last year of contract. So we have to check that things, you know, to watch what Real Madrid is looking at the market. It's important.
Does you guys have questions for Jorge?
Earlier. So, what are your thoughts on Florentino Perez's strategy, especially when it comes? And I know that, like during COVID, especially, you know, his strategy of like not like overspending and like he might have gotten a little bit of criticism on, like, for example, selling Hakimi. But you know, just looking forward, we see that he's made some really good decisions. But what is your opinion and what are your thoughts on Florentino Perez's strategy? Either waiting on, I mean, I like him just waiting on the last year of the contract and then buying the player because you have so much leverage at that time. However, you know, when he waits until the player is, you know, it's for free, which is it's crazy. Obviously, it's a great thing when you buy Mbappe, for example. And I'm a huge fan of both Trent Arnold and Davies as well. I love them both. I just that's. But my question, you know, on the other hand, with that is that, you know, you bring in Alaba, for example, who is a great player, but you're paying him, and I'm not sure based on what I see on, you know, some of these sites, but you pay him as much and even more than someone like Bellingham, for example. How does that dynamic?
Let's see. I think Mbappe is like the. Let's see how Mbappe works. You know, let's see how Mbappe enter in the locker room, meet with the other players. I think for now the strategy is good because the titles are there. You know, you win the Champions League, you win La Liga, so it's difficult to say something bad about it. I understand, you know, the fan wants more players, the coach wants more players, but since 5 years, since the coronavirus, you know, Real Madrid always look at the financial side of any kind of signing or anything he's doing, about the stadium. It's like I don't want to put it at the same importance that a sporting side, but it's really important for them. So for the fans, if Real Madrid is not winning titles at the end of the season, it will be bad, and if you win titles, it's good. So now that you win titles, you can do whatever you want. And at the end of the season, maybe we are here and we say, "Oh, what's crazy? Why they didn't sign a center back? Why they sign Mbappe if we don't need him?" So I think now talking about Mbappe, I think he's a player that you have to sign for sure. Every player, every team of the world will sign Mbappe for sure. But it's true that, well, you sign Mbappe with every condition that Mbappe makes at the team. He can maybe, I don't know how to say it, envidious. It's like, that's it. So, well, you need a coach that could, manage that situation, and that's one of the reasons why Real Madrid renew Ancelotti, because he know how to treat the stars, that egos. Let's see what happens.
I understand with Mbappe, Mbappe he's a Pele.
Yeah.
But my question was, just their approach.
No, and I think every one of us want to see how Mbappe adapt to the team, to the locker room. Now you were talking about where he's going to play. Let's see. That's Ancelotti's work. So
yeah. I just looked at the time. We have to give away the trivia prizes too. We only have 25 minutes left, so maybe this here, and then we can move to trivia.
My question is not related to Real Madrid, but to Relevo.
Yeah.
Because I never heard about them, and they just started becoming really relevant. I see them everywhere. What's the background? Where is the company coming from? Do you have any where did you work before? Was it formed from other company, or because you guys just popped and you're like everywhere?
Look, in Madrid there are three big groups of media, websites, newspapers that had Unidad Editorial, that is the one who have Marca, Prisa, that is the one who have us, and there was another one who was Vocento. Relevo is Vocento. Vocento, they wanted to have a website, a sport website, and they tried to buy, or to adapt some big sports websites to Vocento. They speak with some another groups to buy part of the enterprise, to have that sport website, but it impossible, really expensive prices, and so they start from the bottom.
Wow.
They sign stars like Real Madrid now, from Marca, from us, people who was young but have a lot of years working, covering, I don't know, big teams, big competitions. And that was like 2 years ago, 2-3 years ago. And, everything is going really well. We are growing a lot. We have social media, really good social media that, is something that I think we are better at social media than Marca and us. Yeah, we are a young sports website, so we adapt better to that kind of client, So and the things are going really well. We have more fans, more readers around the world, and I think it's just time to keep growing, and let's see where we can go.
Awesome. One question here.
My question was, there was a rumor about Müller saying that he might be known to Bayern Leverkusen.
Yeah.
do you hear anything about that? Is that just a rumor or?
Just a rumor. Yeah, Real Madrid since the maybe April, no, sooner maybe, they decided to not give Guller on loan or sell it or no. It's like a really important player for the direction because they do like they is a expensive player for a player who is 18 years old. They convinced him when another teams like Barcelona were behind him, and he's really talented. We cannot watch them a lot watch him a lot at the games with the rest of the team, but if you watch him at the training sessions, and you have to hear what Kroos or Modric are saying about him, because if Kroos and Modric are saying that he is really good, he's really talented, they are not that kind of players that says that about any kind of player or any, they play with really good partners all his career. And
Kroos talked about his humility today. I think it was today. He was
yeah,
talking about
today
he's willing to learn, very
always
humble.
Yeah. So I think that tell us how good Guller is, and for sure that's the start of the what I'm saying. I think we are going to watch him a lot this season, and we understand why Real Madrid want to keep him at the start of the season.
Yeah, go for it. If you could, 10 seconds or less.
So, what do you think about Ori and Ruiz? I know you expect both technically, but like having Bellingham as part of the
maybe
is there a real interest?
Yeah, it's a real interest for sure. I think it's more. Yeah, I think Real Madrid directors wants to have a more tactical player at the midfield. Not that physical like Valverde or like Camavinga. A player who can control more the game, that maybe combined with Arda Güler too. That's the thing. But it's another player that if you can sign him, you have to sign him, because now he's the best wonder kid in the world with 2 or 3 more. So
you guys agree that Jorge was an amazing addition to the podcast tonight? Thank you for coming on. You must be jet lagged too. What time is it in Spain? It's got to be like 7 hours.
6 in the morning, or the more or less. Yeah,
but
I'm good.
You're good. All right, so we got some 3 things to give away. Too bad Guller fan left. I have the match worn jersey. No, I'm just kidding. So Sid has trivia questions, and I'm not going to reveal what we're giving away until you guys answer the question. So, okay, I have a lot of experience on this trivia thing now. I think I have it down to a science. I said, you ask the question. I'm going to be looking to see who raises their hand first, and then I'm going to call on that person. My job is to see which, because I want to make sure everyone gets a fair shot.
He's the bar.
Yeah. So I said, you start with the question. Sid has a bunch of chat GTP questions.
He might have.
Hey, please give me some Real Madrid trivia questions, chat GTP.
All right. Yeah, no phones. Everyone put your phones away.
Oh, true. You won't have time to look it up anyway.
Yeah, and so which Real Madrid midfielder has a superstition of sitting in the same seat on the team bus, always putting his left shin pad on first and tying his left boot before his right?
Right here.
Nope.
Right here.
Yeah.
What? Is this real?
He was sitting next to him.
Is this real? This is a real thing? And you knew about this?
There's only 2. So the only thing I guess I know that like hits the shin guards every.
You gotta get older questions.
He was thinking about Modric and Kroos. You say Kroos, okay. Well,
yeah,
I'll
take the other one. Okay, who's your favorite Real Madrid player?
Like playing now?
It doesn't matter.
I would say Benzema.
Benzema?
Yeah, this is real. The Modric thing is real.
Your favorite player is not Benzema. It's actually Fede Valverde. And he signed it for you too. There you go, bro. Enjoy. All right, next up.
Which player in the 2010s in La Liga celebrated a goal against Valencia by lying down on the pitch and pretending to shine his own boots?
Ronaldo.
No.
What was the year again?
2017.
2017. Isco. Ramos?
Put your hands up, guys.
Was it Vinicius?
2017.
In the back.
Vatican?
No, it was already guessed.
Ramos?
Already guessed.
Thomas?
Asensio?
This is just a Russian roulette now.
Is it Marielle Diaz?
Let's do 2 more guesses and then we'll move on to the next question. But you
No.
got to reveal it.
No, you guys got to
You want to keep going?
Yeah, keep
All right.
going.
Is it Kroos managers?
Sorry?
Kroos.
Marcelo?
Yep.
Okay. Vic. How did you know that, Vic?
It's his favorite player of all time.
Who's your favorite player?
It's his favorite player.
Who's your favorite player?
Benzema is, but I'll take anyone.
That's
Love him.
Eduardo Camavinga.
Love.
Hey.
Love. Starter.
Yeah,
Starter.
for sure.
Okay,
Yeah, I have to
I
start
wanted
this
to ask
season.
you, do you think he's a starter over Rodrigo?
Let's see. Let's see. I hope yes, as you, but
This
I
side of
don't.
the room is with you.
Yeah.
All right. Let's keep going. Which Real Madrid goalkeeper solves the Rubik's Cube in under a minute and has been known to challenge teammates to competitions? Yeah.
Courtois? Wow. I learned so much today. Wow, that's crazy.
That was quick.
All right. Who's your favorite player?
I would say
Who?
Zizou.
Close. Luis Figo.
Whoa.
There you go. There you go. So we have the room for like 14 more minutes. I wanted to invite the Chicago Pena up if possible. Can you guys Alex and whoever else from the Pena would like to come up? Reese? Okay, Jorge. Gracias.
Thank you very much.
Come on up.
Chair?
I'll just grab this one closer. I'm Presti.
So,
Middle more. Oh. Just push it more. Oh my god.
Let's just start.
All right,
let's go.
All right, so
Drinks on him.
this is Alex and Reese from the Chicago Pena Madridista. And I had the great privilege of meeting Alex a few years ago in Chicago. I cannot speak highly enough of this man. Just a gem of a human being. And I was very happy to go to the Chicago Fire game with you a few years ago when Chicharito Hernandez was there. That was quite a treat. Can you guys please speak about the Pena? Because I know that there's a lot of people in this room who are not part of the Pena who, my opinion, would benefit greatly by being part of the Madridista tribe here. So just maybe just a bit about the Pena and how you formed and what's the process and what you guys do.
Well, we formed in 2011 as just a small group trying to find Madridistas when Real Madrid wasn't doing that well and Barcelona was at their peak. Shout out to Rick because he's one of the OGs. He's been since year one with us, and so he's been through everything. But through the years, we've been growing, and our mission, my mission, when we formed this group, is to gather all Madridistas from every corner of the world that lives in Chicago, that is a Real Madrid supporter. We take you in. We don't ask for questions. We sell memberships, but we don't enforce a membership. If you want to come and watch a game with us, fine. We invite you. We take you in. But if you want to be part of the year, day after day, week after week, being part of the group, sure, you can pay for the membership and you get benefits. As requesting tickets, if you want to go to a game in Madrid, we have that advantage. Right now, we're hoping to have a meet and greet. So we're gonna select a number of fans who have been with us throughout the year to go and maybe meet Roberto Carlos or Butragueño. If they allow us to see the team, then we get that benefit, but that privilege, but it's rare that it happens. It happened to us in 2017, but it was because we had a small kid, and Florentino is fond of kids. So he asked them, and he said, wait a minute. And then he called the team, and we had the team come in and greet us and took pictures with us. Yeah. And to talk about the experience as someone who's been with us, this is your first year as being like a full, probably second, right? Yeah. So time goes by so fast. Yeah. So this is like a fresh experience if you want to join us from someone who's new to the Pena.
Yeah. So my name is Reese. I moved to Chicago about 2.5 years ago from Arizona. So moved in March, so towards the end of 2022 season, I want to say, and again showed up one day. It wasn't like he was saying, it wasn't people standoffish or in their own little clique. Immediately they saw that I was wearing Real Madrid colors, and it was like, hey, welcome to the family, you know. So the next season was able to go to a lot more matches at AJ's. Again, everybody's friendly, been able to meet so many people from all over the world. I think if you go to one of our matches, we have somebody from pretty much everywhere on earth, like at least that region. And it's cool to just find your community in Chicago. Obviously moving, especially as an adult, can be hard. So being able to find those people that you're able to connect with on something and just welcoming you in, it's been really special.
Love that. And you guys have an event tomorrow night, right?
It's sold out, but yes.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we have a.
This is a tease, complete tease.
But if you're going to the game, we have a tailgate in the south parking lot, and we'll be there. We'll have some beers, a taco truck, and just have a good time among.
What time are you guys getting together before the game?
3. We're 3 in the afternoon. So.
Yes.
The game is it?
Yeah. Sharpen up in the parking lot.
Right. Are you guys gonna make it to the game? That's a lot of beers. Go watch the game at home.
No, yeah. So we have planned to have a taco truck there. We have beer that was promoted by founders. So we have plenty of beer going to be going around. Hopefully it doesn't rain as bad as that they're forecasting.
No,
we don't care, right? We don't care.
We'll bring raincoats.
So we also have, we're collaborating with Abbott Laboratories, where they're doing a march against malnutrition, fight against malnutrition. So we're planning to meet with them at 5 at the planetarium. They're going to hand out scarves. If you just join the march, we're going to march from the planetarium. It's about half a mile, a quarter mile maybe, into the stadium. So it's going to be pretty loud and exciting if you want to join that.
Awesome.
Also on Thursday after the game, McDonald's and La Liga are sponsoring a soccer clinic from today through Wednesday for kids. It was a free event, but on Thursday, if you want to go and take pictures with Fernando Morientes,
Legend.
He's going to be there. There's going to be a fan zone. This is in Schaumburg, Olympic Park. So if you want to join us, I'll be there. I don't know who else is going to join us from the Pena, but I will sure be there.
I'll try to come.
So if people want to join the Pena, just come see you after the show.
Yeah, you can come see me after the show, or you can look us up as Pena Madridista Windy City on Facebook, and we have Chicago Madridistas in Instagram.
Awesome.
You can find us there. We're not doing memberships right now because of all of the goings that we have. We don't have time to start doing the memberships, but as soon as the season starts, we're gonna start meeting. We'd prefer that you come to us and we talk to you, and then we'll meet you in person and sign you up as a member. Do a more personal experience than signing up through the web. Come to AJ Hudson's. Yeah.
It's an amazing spot.
Dude, I don't even know that there's membership. That's how.
That's what makes people want to join. It's the exclusivity. Yeah.
Yeah, we do it for the fans. I mean, it's for the love of the team, the love of the community. So just bring everybody together.
Awesome. Beautiful. You guys, so it was an honor for me to see you again, Alex.
Yeah,
Reese, thank you
likewise.
for coming up. Jorge, thank you for popping in. I know you didn't have to do that. Guys, as you know, this is part for me. One of the best parts of preseason is meeting Madridistas in the USA and wherever we go. So we try to do a podcast in every city we go to, and this was awesome. As I said, Chicago, a special place in my heart. My first ever Real Madrid match was here at Soldier Field. We beat Chivas Guadalajara 3-1. Never forget it. Great experience with my dad, and it was great to see you guys a few years ago. New faces, recurring faces. Absolute honor. And Sid, this is the second time I've done a podcast with you in person. It's always a pleasure, my man. And I hope you guys have a blast at the game on Wednesday. Wednesday, yeah. And please go see Alex after the show if you want to join the Pena, okay? Guys, round of applause for all of you. Thank you. Everybody say goodbye to YouTube. See you later, YouTube.